dishwasher again for stuff that aren't exactly plates. See how it come out. See, I think the problem is that they age and then they just go dark. I mean, I might have been around in 92, but I don't remember seeing a power steering bottle on a 1992 Escort. So I can't really confirm whether they were yellow or white back then. But that is certainly yellow now. If that had any sort of stains or dirt on it, it's come off. There's only the bit inside you can see there. And it's still yellow. So I guess that's the colour that they actually are. Because I really doubt you're going to be able to find a new one. Now, interestingly, it came with a alloy thermostat housing, which is hen's teeth. But I'm not complaining. But oh my god, was the coolant crystallized and just completely congealed. That's just powder. I'll give it a good old scrape out. Shame I haven't got something like a ultrasonic cleaner. That's come out alright. That was quite bad before. I'm quite happy with that. Caps. Cool, that looks new. Here we got brake. Can't tell if there's anything. That's just water or not. That's come out nice. Yeah, that's brake fluid. But yeah, that's come out nice. That's actually white. So that is hope, I suppose. The colour difference. And then you got coolant, which is bloody full. Don't mind that. That's come out alright. I can live with that. I'll insert a picture now of how it looked. It was pretty grubby. God, there's so many chambers in them. Ugh. Cut on that. And it's coming up the side. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Just need to drain it off and give this dishwasher a run with nothing in it. Just a little update for you as I'm doing it actually. I've got the front end back on. It is now running coilovers, TA Technics, John, whatever you want to call them. Slating rate, but I used to. They're actually not bad. They really aren't. I run coilovers on my ST, my daily, and that's good, expensive Bilstein ones. I also run them on that, which are Spacs, and there's not a lot of difference. The adjustability is pretty stupid. I mean, there's a couple of threads left at the top there before they're topped out. Bottoming these out is ridiculous. You cannot even move the car, let alone drive it. So I don't know why they come down so far, but even if you raise them to the top, he's still lowered by about 50 mil compared to springs or something like that. So I don't know why they have them so low. That's my only complaint. The ride quality is awesome. They feel good and sporty, not crashy at all. But then they lower quite well as well. Too much, if anything. At the minute, I'm just putting on the RS 2000 brakes, which I've stolen from the Fiesta. So this car now will have quite good running gear when I'm done. RS2000 brakes front and back. It's also had an assortment of new serviceable parts, so track rod ends, the drop links, the lower arms are brand new as well, new hub bearings in there, and then these brakes, which I know are good because I used them for a couple of months, and then the coilovers as well. And I'm just doing up the brake line, which has new copper washers in there. Whoop, dropping my phone, which is this size here. I know I haven't put the lower arms in yet, but until I put the engine in, I can't. So I've kind of just plunked in the bolts now, the pinch bolts, and then I'll just drop the ball joint out of the hub, and then I'll pull the shock forward, and then it'll allow me to get the drive shafts in. And speaking of, let me just zip on over to them. New radiator to go in. Most of the stuff is new. It's nice. I didn't do this with the Fiesta, and like wheel bearings, I was chasing them, stuff like that. I had to do the lower arms in the end. I wish I'd just done them before I put it on the road like I'm doing now with this. And like I've done with my Mark 6 Escort as well. So here we have the drive shafts. They're going to have new boots on them. I haven't actually tried if they fit yet. My vernier pulley is calipers in the house. It looks about right. And they were for this car, at least on the eBay listing. New clips in there as well. I'll get on with them in a minute. I don't relish it because it's a very messy job. These have all come out nice. I did do a video. It's got a bit more crud still in there. I need to give it a bit of a wire brush in. This has come out nice, really nice. They just seem to be yellow, don't know why. And that's come out nice too. Yeah, the engine, I gotta get it off that, hang it, but I'll do that when it's about to go in. I'll put the intake on first. It's got to keep that standard exhaust for a minute because I don't want to touch the exhaust until I know it's good to go, because then I'll only trip myself up when it's MOT time. This one, it doesn't fit at the minute. It needs some fettling. That flange will be cut off, that's useless. One of these will be welded up, because you can't use that one because there's only one primary. So that'll be welded shut. One of these will be welded shut, and then that one will probably be the one I use. If I want to make it work in this car, which has got a front starter, I need to lengthen these primaries by about 1.5 inches to clear it, because this pipe here will contact the starter. It's annoying. These are easily available because Focuses are still quite common. These are considered an upgrade to a 1.8 or a 2 litre. I've used that in an Escort before, and they just work really well. They make a nice raspy sort of tone. Not too loud, as long as you keep a decent amount of back box silencer issue going on. And they sound good, they really do. And this car doesn't need a cat, so I'll take that off and weigh it in or whatever, because it's just not necessary. But I got to get around that starter issue. That's this side's all bolted down and finished. Gearbox has had a bit of a clean. It was just grotty and really very greasy. This is just how it would look. That's been replaced as I've shown. That's all the scrap has come off. Clutch was actually stuck to the flywheel. I don't often come across that. And there's the old lump over there, which I haven't actually dug into yet. It's sea solid. The coolant was sludge, like congealed, like just awful. The belts are horrendous. They look like they're 1 inch from just snapping. And then the oil, it's sludge as well, so it just needs to go. It's no point keeping it. You can go to the scrapyard one day with this one. So where am I at? Give the engine bay a good clean. It had just general grime. There was manking. It's come up nice. No rust whatsoever, so some slight surface corrosion. A battery tray, which is incredibly impressive. And again, some sludge on the side here. The engine can go back in then, new fuel filter on the wall there. Might tidy up the servo because it looks a bit daft once everything's in there nice. And then the rest of the car, I think it's locked. You've got the XR3 interior in there now, which is nice. The door cards are going on. I need to replace the handle on the other side, this one, because the inside mechanism has just snapped away. That is weird, I don't know why it's done that, but it has. Spot the duct tape bodge. Not too shabby of an effort, I'm not going to lie. Obviously it's not going to stay like that. I'm not having a rotten rear quarter on my car. It's just something to get it through the MOT. If it passes, I will then fix it. I mean, that does nothing. Not a single thing going on in there, because it's just simply snapped. Yeah, I think you're about caught up for now. I'll get on with these drive shafts now. So once you've taken the sliding end off, which is the gearbox end, and obviously the boot, I've cut this off this side. Normally you just slide them off. There's this little circlip around the outside of the shaft, and it keeps this on. If you keep whacking the crap out of that, you're just not really going to get anywhere. So you need to use inverted circuit pliers, so when you squeeze them, they open. And you need to pry that off, and you lose it, you're not going to be happy. So I'm going to try not to lose it. Once it's pried off, you'll have it off, and just give the spider a bit of a whack, and there you have it. Honestly, it doesn't feel that long ago that I did my last one of these, which was also an escort. I'm not really sure what the meaning of this is. It just keeps the gator out a bit, but I haven't come across one before. It's a bit gunky, to be honest with you. Now when I slide that off, I'll be able to slide the new one on. I'm going to clean it up in there first. Don't think I'm going to give the drive shaft a paint. I don't know. This usually doesn't last. I'll give it a go. There we are, giving it a coat of silver. Wasn't gonna, but there we are. Now it's just a case of giving that a coat or two, let it dry, and start building it back up. But in the meantime, I've got another one to strip down, which is the long shaft. And there we are, just like that. The ends are on. And new clips, crimped, using a home method of side cutters. I don't have the tool. Yeah, that'll do me. Okay, as it goes, it's time to put the engine in. Hopefully the rain, hopefully the rain doesn't come down, which is funny because it's absolutely fucking gonna. Just thought I'd chuck the new filter on before it goes in the car, because we all know it's easy to do that out of the car. Give it a little licky of oil. Great, I want to do this one, actually. Good couple of new parts on this engine. All sensors new. Water pumps new. Aux belts new. Timing belts new. I've put new plugs in it. Quite happy. And it is a 130. The only thing, oddly, which I've never really done, that I'm not replacing is the clutch, but there's more than enough meat on that. So, sod it. I can't really be bothered. I'm not going to do a million miles on this thing, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Just got to bolt things to the engine now, ready to put it in. looking nice and clean. And the only other thing I can really note before any actual changes, like putting the engine in, is the wheels. I don't mind them, you know. Obviously they're the Pug 208 steels that I had on my Fiesta, but I was just going to take the tyres off them. But then they're not exactly full of life, so I don't think I could be arsed. I might just use them on the steels on the car. I mean, what's bloody 2 mil if I'm lucky on that shoulder there. It's not exactly full of life. It's a bit better in the middle, but not amazing. So yeah, I might just leave them on as it is. This is where the wheel got hit by the... I don't actually know what hit it, but it got damaged when that guy hit me. So I need to straighten that a bit. Yeah, right, anyway, onwards. Now one thing I was about to say, one thing I've always learned to keep hold of is clutch plate bolts, because as far as I'm aware you can't really buy these easy, and I just went digging for one because I thought I lost it, and I just found it as I walked out about to make this speech. But either way, keep hold of them, they're handy. Now, I have never owned a clutch alignment tool, and I've always been quite proud of the fact that I've always been able to align them by eye, no matter if it's in the car or out of the car. And I've always done them this way. Dozens of clutches, and they've never given me jip whatsoever. Don't ask me how, but it didn't rain. And I got a lot done, thanks to it not raining. Although, looking at that paint there, I can see it's starting. Give the cradle for the what's it called? Radiator. And the fan shroud a nice lick of paint. The engine is in, and it's looking happy, although looking a bit shit at the same time. I'm going to change the cam cover, which I know I should have done really out of the car because you've got to take this stupid bracket off. I remember that from my Fiesta days, but there we are. I kind of wanted it in and looking shit before it looks good, because at least you can see that, oh, this is what it would have come like when I had it. Stupid and probably being autistic as hell, but there we are. As you can see down there, the drive shaft is in place. We are cooking with fire now. All the suspension, all the running gear like that is all done. Even put the little dimple in the hub nut, like a pro. The only thing running gear wise, other than the engine obviously, is I got to put my disc brakes on the back, and the coilovers. Look, I haven't actually touched the back. I just put the exhaust on now. It wasn't quite sitting flush at first. Annoyingly, I could probably make a push and get this running today, but I got no fuel coming through, so the fuel pump is probably dead. I haven't fit a thermostat housing yet, or none of the coolant system whatsoever. So what's really the point? Maybe I could connect the starter and at least turn it over, because this car, as far as I'm aware, has never turned over because the last engine was seized. So I could put some oil in it and just crank it at least. Maybe I could do that. But it is starting to pick now. But yeah, it's in, and oh, yep, here comes the rain. Grab me rugs because it pisses me off when I lie in them and they're wet. And do you know what? I don't know what the hell this is from. Can't remember what I took it off. I think it's part of the gearbox mount, but I can't quite remember. Yeah, yeah, so it's in. That concludes this episode, to be honest. I know it would have been nice to see it running in the end of this episode, but, you know, no need to be doing it all at once. You know, it is making strides. It's got brakes now. It's got all the running gear, drop links, track rod end, lower arms, the suspension uprights as well. The engine's in. I know it's a 130, but I haven't 130'd it. It's an SO manifold with the 105 intake, throttle body, sorry. I'll have a 105 MAF as well. I do have the 2 litre throttle body, I've had it for years. I've got a 2 litre MAF. They'll go on. I just want to run in for now. Yeah, I'm going to call it here. Crack on a bit more tomorrow. And it should be running tomorrow then. Okay.